let's see what we got here. Turn that down. What's up, everybody? All right. How's everybody? How we looking? How we looking? How we looking? Man, oh man. I need to clean up behind me. I've got a mess of things behind me. Oof. Do that real quick. Do that real quick, real quick. Too much stuff. It's been chaos here trying to keep everything up after getting the new PC build. That. Yikes. Alright. Just notice we're looking a little bit messy. Hold on. You know what we can do too? I think we normally have this like this. There we go. There we go. There we go. So what's good, everybody? How we doing? Let's get the word out. What are we doing tonight? What are we doing tonight? What are we doing tonight? We're early though, I can tell you that. Whatever we're doing, we're early. Let's see here. Justin, what's good, dude? What's good? What's good? How we doing? Oh, soon TM. That's what's up. Nice, my dude. That'll be awesome. You guys been following the Tengu keyboard? Do you guys see that thing? Finder Works, the Tengu? Looks pretty crazy. I don't really like the weight on it though. I just saw that thing the other day. For the first time. I've got cool stuff, guys. I'm hyped. It was a good mail day today. Oh god, you can see my neighbors outside playing. All right. Yeah. So how's everyone's weekend? Happy Memorial Day, you guys. If I didn't see you before we rolled off into that holiday, I was streaming a little bit on Sunday. You should have stopped by. If I didn't see you then, shame on you guys. No, I hope you guys had a good weekend though. Hope it was better than mine. My kids just have a tendency of being crazy, and this weekend was no exception. So what do we got going on today, guys? I didn't even have an opportunity to really check up on much of anything today. Did anything new drop on Geek Hack? We got any new crazy news? Anything to be paying attention to? Oh, and let me see real quick too. How's stream looking, guys? Do we have the right tag and everything on here? I don't have just chatting or anything on, do I? No, I don't. We got makers and crafting on there. Alright, groovy. I'm a little early. If you guys can't tell already. Did I hear of the new gasket rubber films? I did not. Gasket rubber films. Where was that linked? I'll take a look at that right now. I put my unicorn on the desk. I thought this aesthetic went really well with the Zambumon desk mat. We'll take a look at that now, though, if we've got a link. I was just gonna look too to see if there was anything else that got announced. We got a couple more days left on GMK Deep Navy and GMK Masterpiece. GMK Classic Blue here ends this week. What do you guys think of GMK Redacted? That's what's up, Dale. Good to see you, dude. You know, try and keeping it classy. Still in the proto phase. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, let's see. Switch gaskets. What is the world coming to? Did you say switch gaskets? Gasket rubber films. You did say they were films. I just was not picturing this. What has the world come to? This is exactly what I'm thinking of. You gotta be kidding me. And this guy thought of that? I was thinking, you gotta be kidding me. I thought this guy was gonna go in a way different direction. I was thinking of making those. My gasket place can make them, but I didn't want to test it. Dude, now you missed out. Now they've got a trademark, patent pending. And this guy's about to be rich. Home Row Co. The Home Row Company. Dude, Home Row? Home Row Company? That guy's got a good name too. This guy's about to be rich. This is like the guy who like invented like the ShamWow. It's about to be on for this guy. That's funny. Rubber films and ink housings. Super Pog. That's true. We're gonna see some craziness with this, I'm sure. That's crazy. What is the world coming to? I mean, I'm all about it. For science, right? Just try it all. There are actually thick switch films available. So they've already been 3D printing thick switch films, but I guess we needed the rubber gasket. So hold up. This guy's saying here, oh whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh my god, this guy wrote a book. TLDR, that's exactly what I needed to see. Switch films make Switch go thocky thok. Seems to be best for linears. These are just my first impressions after watching the VOD. My opinion may change once I actually test with switches, but it does its job. Nice to see people diversifying types of products in the community. Yeah, so, I mean, what switches are loose enough to where you would need something that thick? Like, are inks really that loose? Is that the problem with Gateron inks? Are they really wobbly? And wouldn't a rubber gasket be a little wobbly as well? It's almost purely for sound, not tightness. But I don't get it. There's nothing that actuates there. There's no sound coming from, like, is it just does it sound dampen the noise coming out of the Evenold films help the sound? Any tighter seal and an opening helps sound. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, so I guess it's just kind of like the soundproofing. It's good for Cherry and JWK switches. Alright, interesting. Well, what about it? Who knows? We'll see. I'll pick some up and I'll give it a test. Could someone be kind enough to explain what this is to a rookie? That's funny. This is exactly what I'm thinking. The mad scientist is at it again. So what else has this guy been doing? Home row. Oh, so this guy's done a couple of things. The Serico Silent Linear. Homerow.store. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's blinding on the eyes. Yikes. That should be no S there. The only ones that were snake oil were stickers. Stickers were just a scam. I mean, the silencing ring? Like the O-rings? Well, so I'm Treeleaf. I'm assuming that Dale means switches and not films, because there was at one point a sticker and a film, and so the stickers were gross and they would kind of fuck up your switches, and they were a real pain in the ass. Gravitex, what's up, my dude? Good to see you, my dude. There we go. But yeah, I don't know. Great and affordable. Together with Zambuman and Daily Clock, we've set out to find a switch that is not only smooth as more well-known switches, but also silent while making it more affordable at the same time. So smooth and silent. See, I never got the fad with silent switches. I've done a couple of them, like Helios were actually really good. Was it Helios or Helio? Did they have a V2? Whatever it was, the latest Helio, pretty damn good. But man, Zambuman is a nice person, Treeleaf. I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. As I'm sporting my Zambuman Hexacon desk mat. All right, guys, let's get into it. I can't afford to waste too much time here tonight. We are going to be working on the same board we desoldered the other night. We've got a bag of alpacas that have been lubed with 205G0. Oh, and the springs have been lubed with paraffin oil. Ooh, that's thick. So I need to lube a couple more of these because we're just shy of 65. So I have a baggie of unlubed as well here. So we will get those going in a second. We took these out the other night, the Zelio V2s. So those we can put over here. Here's the board we're working on, though. Oh, thanks, Treeleaf. Yeah, so this is a unicorn with OG Dolce keycaps on it. So it is pretty nice. Nice boards. I want to get an aluminum half plate cut for this thing. This is also going to be a nice board. Have you ever tried silicone oil or Molly B disulfide grease? I want to experience. I've not tried that. I've done, so for springs, I've done a lot of like LSD oil, and I can wholeheartedly recommend that. All right, we are going to start by removing this PCB and the stabilizers. This is why I wanted to get a little bit of a head start on the build tonight. These stabilizers are an unknown to me right now. So we're gonna have to see what they look like. I might need to wipe them down and get another lube on them. Because I did not tune this for its initial build. Yo, I tried to buy some stuff from Zeal through your link, but the 10% didn't work for me. Oh, shoot. I will have to ask Zeal about that. Hey, Dale, thanks so much, man. Enjoy your nap, buddy. We'll see you later, dude. Keep up the great work with those renders. This stuff is really looking good, man. I wish I could say I wasn't sleep deprived. Oh, lordy. I've been going to bed late. I need to change that for sure. All right. So here is your 4.5 millimeter plate. Look at that thick boy. Integrated into the top part of the case. As you can see, we'll put it right here. Camera left for a moment. I am going to be moving it off to the side ultimately. Ooh, more surprises soon. There we go. Any leaks? Always looking forward to seeing what you got working on, Dale. If for nothing else, it's just so aesthetic. Oh, nice. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they look so good, Tree Leaf. It kind of like, some of the renders remind me kind of like of an Inception vibe. I don't know if you catch that too, but the way they have like so many of them layered back and forth and upside down and right side up, it reminds me of something like you'd see in a dream. So friends, for those of you who have not seen a Think 6.5 before, I'm going to do a quick little review on the plate even before I get going in it. I talk about this every time a designer comes out and makes a plate that's like this, and I love it. They have basically said, this is the layout you need to use, and I'm specifically talking about the bottom row. And so there's room for slight and subtle variance in this, but for the most part, it is pretty much the same. So you can either do 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, or you can do 1, 2, 3, a 7U, and then 1. That's the way to do it. Like either that or even just lock it in further with the 1.57 bottom row. Because in my mind, that is the way. So these have definitely been lubed up, but they're definitely lubed up really light. So there's a positive and negative to that. The negative is that it probably didn't sound too fantastic when it was first built. The positive is that our cleaning will be made much easier because of that. Basically just going to touch up each of these guys. The lube looks like it honestly was inserted from a built switch and kind of like inserted and pushed in. Like the lube almost looks like it was installed like that because I have lube that leaked out to the bottom and was sitting on the plate here. Hey Gravitex, thanks so much for the cheer, dude, for the 5 bits. Appreciate you. Keyboard, keyboard, keyboard. Ooh, let's see what we got here, Dale. I like the name of it already. Oh, what in the world is this? Oh my goodness. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Dude, that's so cool. No leaks yet. Soon, TM, I'm sure. Nice. Alright. Okay, so there's the PCB, which we already know is working. I tested that the other night. I'm gonna go ahead, just so I don't get funk all over this new desk mat. Nice, Dale. That's what I'm talking about. We look forward to that one. It looks good. Here we go. Oh man. Hey Dale, thanks so much for the follow, dude. Appreciate that. I had Five Guys for dinner tonight. Oof, so good. So good, so good. Alright. Yeah, let's go ahead and tune. Let's tune these babies up. Yeah, it was definitely, these stabilizers were tuned light for sure. I didn't really test them and type on these before. But yeah, I'd be curious to know how they actually worked from before. I've got this to wipe the housings down. I'm not going to get too crazy wiping the housings down because it does look like it was pretty lightly applied here. I was looking before we went live tonight at these stabilizers, making sure they didn't look too crusty because I was going to just ultrasonic them if they did. But they look pretty good. We're just going to be putting 205G0 right back on them. Yeah, I think they were like lubed with like a lighter oil or something maybe? Yeah. So what you guys got going on this week? Anyone into anything interesting? I hope you guys are still working, staying busy, staying active out there. This is the last week of school. That's what's up. Yeah, they had a parade for all the seniors that are in our neighborhood this past weekend. Kind of as a congratulation graduates parade. Hope that's closing out nicely for you there, Treeleaf. Are you in college or high school, if you don't mind me asking? And if college, what are you studying? This would be such a weird time to be in school. I can't even imagine. It's a weird time for everything. Yeah, a lot of work. Trust me, I know that's the truth. No matter where you are and what you're doing, I feel like there's just so much work to be done. Like everyone I've talked to has been like, you know, you'd think it'd be like a little slower with the COVID-19, but man, I feel like everyone I've talked to has been busy. I mean, I'm afforded the ability to still be working. I work in the tech sector, and so, you know, there's always work to be done there. And that sector is all very fortunate to still be working and gainfully employed for the vast majority of everyone. You know, we can all pretty much work from wherever. But, there you go. Nice, man. Extra time for some gaming if it's a little slower from before. Yeah, I was playing a little Apex Legends earlier today. Kids were taking a little nap, getting a couple games in. New update there is pretty good. Also had a little after lunch conference call with a keyboard vendor. It's still early phases there. Don't want to share any details quite yet, but more exciting news on the horizon, hopefully. Always good to chat with somebody in the hobby over voice that I haven't before and kind of just learn how they got into keyboards, and I always enjoy that conversation. I feel like there's a lot of similar stories there, right? Everyone's got a couple of different variants, but always pretty similar. You know, for me, I was on a gaming keyboard. I wanted something for work that looked a little bit different, ran into the subreddit, and the next thing I know, I'm in deep. I feel like that's a pretty common story. Can you ask what color the alpacas are? I wanted to buy some from AliExpress. I don't know if alpacas are sold on AliExpress. Here they are, though. They're kind of like an off black and a, well, they look kind of like Olivia. You see how they kind of have that like rose pink color, and then they're that off black gray. I believe they're getting restocked here in early June, and so hang tight. Yeah, there's a couple of different spring weights on the alpacas, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody probably bought up a whole bunch of them and is reselling them on AliExpress. So if you're able to wait, do wait just a little bit, because I believe Prime Keyboards is restocking those here shortly. Add yourself to their email list. And then, yeah, once they get working, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to re-mention it too. Mineral, again, I'm sorry for the Zeal link not working. I'll have to reach out to Zeal, Mr. Zeal, and see what's going on with that. I'll double check on that and try and get you an answer. If you slide into my DMs on Discord, I'll let you know when that link is working. Because yeah, it should be 10%, which, you know, yeah, of course, you know, worthwhile to grab that if you're putting an order in with them. Let's see, did I miss anything else? I think we're all caught up after that. All right, groovy. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into tuning the stabilizers. If I can find my, there it is, my number 0. Oh, by all means, if you guys are new to keyboards, absolutely jump right in. Feel free to ask any questions. Oh, you know what I didn't show off yet that I need to? Oh yeah, that'll definitely be worth it. Yeah, for sure. Slide into DMs and I'll figure out that link and make sure I get you that 10%. Let me know and I'll send it over to you. So take a look, guys. We did have a happy mail day on multiple fronts. I've got some keycap sets to show you here in a little bit, but this came in as well. I've not been this stoked for a new mold in quite some time. My camera is not even going to be able to do this thing justice right now, guys. Wait until you see this. Look at the detail on this. Like, This is the pain cap from Brew Caps. Like, look at that. There's like the face carved in there, a skull, and these like rocks up front. Like another little head, like a little door there. The whole thing, like in the back, you have what kind of looks like a little tree here. The Brew Caps logo, some little like, you know, dudes that look like they're trapped in like a tree. And then this is like what looks like a stone and like collapsed down building. And then in the middle, you have this dude who's like trapped in the middle of a crucifix. Like, it looks so metal. This thing is so gnarly. The butt of it even has got this like veined effect on it as well. It's so nuts. Like, this cap is just absolutely wild. So yeah, Brew Caps is one of my favorite event artisans, actually. He has a special place in my heart because this right here is the first artisan that I ever picked up. Look at that. So Brew Caps is known for having some really insane encapsulation abilities. And so this is a cherry profile cap with that little skull that looks like it, to me, is sitting on like a black sand seabed when you look at it like that. Like, this thing looks so good, and as a monochrome collector, just looks absolutely insane. So I got that new pain cap sitting right next to the first artisan I ever got in my case. There's the Brew Caps, the skull, and there's the pain cap. So stoked when I got that picked up today. Brew Caps is a great guy. Definitely show him some support if you guys are into artisans at all. Artisans are cool, but I like the uniformity of the whole keycap set. Trust me, I know that's the truth. And Disco Croc, what's up, my dude? I see you in chat. How you doing, brother? Yeah, I hear that for sure. And I'm of the same accord. I run a lot of different artisans all over the place, but then more often than not, I come back to keycaps like Clack Skulls because the profile is so close to cherry that it keeps that uniform look while giving it a little extra pop. Any blanks, I'm a big fan of. Like, one of my favorite keycaps right now is the Bad Luck cap from oh, why can't I'm having a brain fart, from Death Caps. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, anytime you have that sort of low key, you know, low profile, it's pretty neat. Yeah, so they can definitely be very in-depth to make, Tea Leaf. Evil Deeds has followed. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, my dude. Yeah, so I mean, and they vary. I mean, I find it troubling to justify some of the prices that artisans go for, but I mean, the vendors like Gaff and stuff, I mean, he does so few in terms of quantity that the quality is so high that, I mean, I can see why he can see you're basically getting like a 1 of 3 with him or something's close to it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I'd say the average prices for an artisan is probably 50 to 75, give or take, plus or minus. So yeah, I wonder if they have a crazy reject rate because of all that small stuff. They do, yeah. So the actual raw materials that go into an artisan keycap is actually pretty low. I think they can probably cast a keycap for like, I mean, we're talking like dollars, right? It really, what you're paying for with an artisan cap, there are some raw materials costs, and there's also the, like, you know, need to get your bench built up to actually cast it, and your pressure pots and all of that. But the art itself is what you're paying for. Yeah, exactly. Once you have the initial setup, all those tools can last you for a really, really long time. So what you're paying for is the number of hours that artist put into the sculpt and the mold. That's exactly right. This Callas has no idea what we're talking about. So this is like an onset within an onset. Like, first you have to be into mechanical keyboards, and then you have to be into custom keycaps on top of that. So yeah, there's definitely some layers to the hobby. I actually did not get into artisan keycaps for probably the first couple of years that I was into the hobby. It took me a while. I was really in love with only one artisan keycap, and it was so expensive when I first got into the hobby that I couldn't justify getting it. It was the key collective Cosmonaut that I was in love with, and I couldn't justify spending $400 on a single keycap, which is about where the market prices were on those when I first got into the hobby. I couldn't do it. And there was nothing really that caught my eye for a long time. It was more, and that was more on me, not necessarily on them. I just wasn't at a point in the hobby where I like really saw that as a worthwhile investment. And then I started getting, more and more visibility into those artisan keycaps and the process that goes into it. And I found some makers now that I really, really like and keep going back to, which I think is a cool and personal experience. Keycaps generally do not flip well. They'll go through phases where a new keycap will get released and it'll be very, very expensive on the market. And then after a while, it'll lose steam. And so people will FOMO on an artisan keycap. And next thing you know, the keycap that they spent $500 for 1 month is now worth $300 a month later. So it's not like keycap sets or keyboards at all, I wouldn't think. It's a little bit different. You don't necessarily have artisans flipping for a huge amount way after the point. So there's not really as many people, and I wouldn't recommend it. There's not really many people that get into the artisan keycaps for that. And that's not definitely something I don't recommend. I recommend kind of getting into an artisan keycap, finding an artist that you really like, something that resonates and speaks to you. And then from there, find a cool colorway that you like and jump on in. Max, can I ask what kind of tech job I have? Definitely want to go into that sector, but I don't know what field. So I am in sort of like a pseudo dev ops role right now. The company I work for is pretty big, and so I'm afforded the ability to work with a whole bunch of different technologies. I'm a network architect by trade. And so I got into tech working as a LAN WAN engineer back in 2008. And at this point, now I'd say I'm probably more of like a more well-rounded DevOps kind of guy. I do a decent amount of work still network architecture wise, but I do a lot of also like software defined projects, software defined networking, coding in some Python, that kind of thing. I'm kind of a little bit more well-rounded. My company gives me the ability to like do a lot of investment work as well. And so I've got a really cool boss. Basically, she's about an inch deep in a football field wide. And so I get to pretty much figure out what projects she's working on and be like, oh, that sounds like fun. I'll work on that. And I'll do it for a couple months and then I'll work on something new. That's not a typical day-to-day life of a network engineer. Before I joined up with this company, I was working more on just a client basis where I would be client site facing and I would be doing mostly network ops. And so I was basically, making sure that the LAN environment or WAN environment, whichever, company I was working for at the time, that their equipment remained up and operational. And so my days actually got really boring with that. So if you find yourself, you've got a personality where like you kind of like getting into a mode where You know, once you have your network up and running and all you have to do is maintenance, if you like that kind of thing where you're kind of just able to chill, like I could have, honestly, like I was down to working probably like an hour to 2 hours a day when I was more client side facing. And I mean, I was pretty much collecting a paycheck to surf Reddit and watch YouTube videos all day. Whereas now, since I'm always on these pretty different projects, I'm always busy. So you can find variance in like any tech jobs like that. But yeah, man, absolutely. Always happy to share my journey in the tech field there. And good luck to you, yeah, if you're looking to get into that field. Depending upon the type of education you have and what you were going for your degree, can make it easier or harder. I actually don't have a tech-related degree, so I just had a kind of a passion for technology and worked my way into the field, and then just picked up a bunch of certificates, and now I've got, you know, a shit ton of experience on top of it, so I don't really have to worry about that so much anymore. I've been actually thinking about going back to school and getting more of like a business master's now at this point. Which, who knows, maybe I won't even have to do that. Maybe we'll pick off and I can just be a pro keyboard streamer. How about that, guys? A man can dream, right? A man can dream. My job will be streaming keyboard content for you guys and then surfing Geekhack when I'm not building.
Cameron, we miss you.
I love relationships. I think they're fantastic. They're wonderful. I think they're great. I think there's nothing in the world more beautiful than falling in love.
Yeah, so an MBA, yeah, I kind of feel that. I just, the one thing I get worried about is that I'm at the point with this company I'm working for now to where people start going more and more into the project management side. It still can happen where I can get promoted and continue to get promoted, staying 100% technical. You know, I think I have one more promotion and one more step promotion up before I probably would need to get an MBA, or I'd just be in a company or I'd be in the company of people that all either have them or they're PhDs. So yeah, it's hard to tell. I'm gonna guess Tree Leaf is directing that question at you, Justin. Probably wondering if you're in tech. You can do a lot of things if you have an accounting degree in tech. Like you can go into like data analytics. I have a friend who had an analytics degree, but he also had a statistician degree as well, and so he was super into math. And so that's what he does a lot of data analytics for big Fortune 500 clients. He was actually working for Comcast last I checked. Before that though, he was working for PwC. Always crunching the numbers.
I think they're great. I think there's nothing in the world more beautiful than falling in love.
Hey, Skinny Legs, what's up, my dude? Oh no. Oh no. That was a disaster. Damn you, Zeal stabilizers. Popping out on me. You look so pretty, but man, you don't stay in. Rip. We were just done with that one. We were popping the stabilizer back in the other side, and the next thing you know, we're starting it over again. I Accounting does pay well. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a nice stepping off point for sure. Cost of living though there. Yikes. But yeah, that should be a living wage for sure. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds about right. What does that get you though in terms of square footage? Does that get you a single family home? Not in the city, but like in the suburbs? There was actually a period of time where my wife and I, before we locked in the Northern Virginia, DC area, where we were thinking about different places we might like to live and settle down. And so Hawaii was on that list for me, not so much for her. And I'll tell you guys a great story here in a second about how I almost had the perfect job in Hawaii. Yeah. A lot of companies moving parts of organizations to east and this west. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense that they would move to an area that's less expensive. Yeah, 2.9 square feet. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, there you go. That's definitely nice. Yeah, so the story with Hawaii. So my wife and I, we went to the island of Kauai, and we went to Oahu too. Oahu, we just spent most of our time at the resort. But we went to the island of Kauai for almost 2 weeks. And I kind of knew that I was going to love it. And of course everyone loves it. But I kind of knew that I was going to like really love it. Because you know, that's kind of like where I was at the time. I was like a huge mountain biker, hiking, outdoors, everything, surfing, like all of it. And so we're there in Kauai for 2 weeks, in Oahu for another like week minus a day or so. And we get back to, well, actually I should say, we were there the entire time, and I said, let me know to my wife. I turned to my wife, I said, let me know if you want to stay here, and we will never leave this place. Because I got off the plane and I was in love instantly. I've got okay relationships with my family that are all on the East Coast, but it's not like I'm super duper close to them. Whereas my wife is much closer to her family, and they're up in like the Pennsylvania area. And so, yeah, I pretty much was good. I was like, give me the word and we will stay here forever. Like, I just won't come back. I'll call up my mom and I'll be like, hey, you're gonna have to sell everything I own and sell, you know, our townhouse, because we're done and I'm staying here. And my mom would probably be like, that's really annoying, but I can understand. I'll come visit you guys here later on this year, and I would be fine, right? Whereas my wife would probably get an "Are you crazy?" from her folks. And so, anyways, though, we get back from the trip, and it's like raining and gross in DC. We land, and she turns to me on the plane and says, "We shouldn't have left." And I was seething. I think my words to her were, "You idiot, I told you we didn't need to leave, and we shouldn't have." So we were both feeling the pain after that flight back, and getting back to, you know, leaving paradise and getting back to, you know, a rainy, gross, you know, metropolitan DC area with all the hustle and bustle and traffic and everything else. So the story continues. We're at work a couple months later, and it's like February. It's even grosser now at this point, outside and everywhere else. And she sends me this clickbaity article that's like, 5 places you wish you were other than where you are currently, and Kauai pops up on them a couple of different times. And so I see this thing, and I'm like, oh, interesting. And it kind of got me thinking, I wonder what kind of jobs are out there. And so I look on Dice, and one of the only companies that has a really solid need for a network architect out there was hiring. It was Northrop Grumman's missile defense system. And so I messaged this recruiter at the office, and I've got my Dice profile all loaded up, right? I mean, basically everything is good to go. And so it takes me all of 30 seconds to put my application in. The guy gets back to me instantly. I hit apply on Dice, and while I'm still sitting at my desk, I get a call. If it was 5 minutes later, I would have been surprised. It was shorter than that. He calls me up and he's like, hey, so I just noticed you put in an application. And I'm like, excuse me for just 1 second. I need to step outside since I'm sitting at my desk here. He's laughing. And I'm like, you got back to me really quickly. He's like, yeah, I just saw the application go in. I figured you'd probably be sitting at your desk. Let's talk. I said, okay, well, I'm on the East Coast for one. He's laughing. He's like, I just came, I'm living out here. I just came from Atlanta. I did the exact same thing. My wife and I just moved out. Anyways, short story long, the job is available. He's like, I think you'd be a really great fit for this thing. This is the recruiter, and the recruiter goes through some quick firm that's basically just, I would have been hired on, pretty much. It would have been a no big deal. And so the guy says, all right, talk it over with your wife and give me a call back. Let's get this locked in. I seriously was losing it. I couldn't think for the rest of the day. I go home and I'm talking to the wife and I'm like, we've got to do this. If there was ever an opportunity, we didn't have kids, we had just bought a townhouse and just taken a mortgage out on a townhouse, but I was like, God damn it, screw it. Just whatever, we'll figure it out. We're young. And she was not buying it. I called the guy back. I was like, can you guys just fly me out for an interview? And yeah, he could kind of tell. He was like, yeah, the wife's not buying it. So it's the story of how I almost lived in Hawaii. That's as close as I got. Yeah, it would have been a dope gig though. Solid, probably mid-range 6-figure salary. I'd be running the network out there. And we would have been coasting. I even sold it to my wife. I was like, and she's working at the hospital. She's been, working at the hospital here in the DC area for the last, 14 years now. I told her, I was like, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, this is your opportunity. You don't have to work if we do this. And even that motivation, she was like, nah, I'd miss my parents too much. I guess I'm a bad kid, right? Because meanwhile, I'm internally thinking, shit, my mom and, my family, they'll come visit me. I won't miss them that much. I think that's a big difference between men and women. At least in Western culture. Yeah, she said that. She was like, nah, I'd miss my folks too much. I'm like, yeah, they'll come visit. They'll come visit. I won't miss my family that much. I want to make a mid-range 6-figure salary. Yeah, man, move to a place that's too expensive, and you will. And then once you're there, then find the gig where you move out and you justify your current salary to get a really nice salary in a place the cost of living is much cheaper at. That's the dream. That's the 200 IQ move there. Get the really high salary in like New York City, and then move to like Ohio, where you take a decrease in pay, but more than you'd ever get for any other normal spot in Ohio, and you living like a king. You know. Not that I did that. DC is expensive. DC is expensive as shit. Oh, we're like as expensive as the West Coast, and we don't have a beach. Like landlocked, just about. There you go. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's a good spot to be in too. And then like not only that, but then like you get the. Oh, let's see here. Is that right? That feels a little bit righter. A little bit righter. Dear good God. It's like a little off still. I'm trying to get the. There we go. Let's lock that down like right there. It looks a little more. It looks a little more level now, right? With the desk mat and everything. Like I've got the angles parallel now. Shit, you know what? I can say wholeheartedly without a single grain of untruth, I am so happy to have cleared out all of our investments before this latest crash. Oh my goodness. We put all of our money into moving to this new house basically right after, and is when the economy shit the bed. And so yeah, no, it's perfect timing for us. So now we're now actually we've got funds, and so yeah, we're like going back into the stock market now, which is beautiful. So thank you for streaming to me, Max. Gotta go for dinner. Nice. All right, Tree Leaf, hit you up later, my dude. All right, guys, we've got the switches ready to go. The stabilizers have been installed. We are ready to rock and roll here with the installation of the PCB back on this plate. I want to go ahead and install this and test out a couple of switches on the stabilized keys. We will be opening up a little mail item here. We've got 2 new keycap sets to work with tonight here, guys. I was tired of you guys talking shit about me not having any like colorful G&K sets, and so I got something that's still not really colorful, but it'll add some extra variation to the stream. I've got a, you know what I want to do? So here's the unfortunate part about this build. It's a little bit of a problem. I think what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm going to. What do you think, guys? I've got bubble wrap because it's an integrated plate, and so I'll need to build this thing with the actual polycarb face down. I also have an older desk mat. I'm thinking that might be the move. If I put an older desk mat down, we can just solder direct on that, and I don't have to worry about scratching up this polycarb top that way. I think that's the move. I think that's the move, guys. Is this? Nope, that's not it. I also need to figure out where these. There's one. There's this one here. There's 2. right, and here's 4. There we go, that's what's up. Okay, yep. Let's go ahead and install these first. And see what these guys sound like. I'm excited, guys. I love these Alpaca switches. They turned out really, really nice on that Polaris I built the other week. So I'm hoping to get a similar result on polycarbonate. All right, guys, so what do you think? Should we do Oblivion or Royal TA Alpha on this? I was thinking Oblivion. My keycap set's also opened up. The box opened up in shipping, so rip my tray. Here's the Royal TA Alpha. Do you guys think we should use this? Or you know what Oblivion looks like? We can do this or Oblivion. What do you guys think? This would look pretty dope too, actually. And people aren't using this as much anymore. Oblivion might be a little played out. Do you guys want to do this? Oblivion also didn't explode in the box. Or this obviously didn't explode in the box, like Oblivion said. And so, like, you guys know what Oblivion looks like. There's the shift key from Oblivion. Oblivion is kind of similar to like Dolch with like extra colored mods. I think we're gonna do this though. I think this will look good. Let's try it. Oh, and real quick, we need to ask too. If we're doing standard or steps caps locks. Also, if I flip it, does this work here? No, just in case we have a flipped spacebar client, I always like using this switch here, just to give you the full potential of choices with the spacebar. I don't flip it personally because that's heresy, but to each their own. All right, we're doing standard caps lock. This build. Remind me of that if I forget. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Let's go ahead and mute this. Oh, that sounds thick. Thick and creamy. Yeah, that'll work. That will indeed work, friends. Oh, yeah. All right, we're good there. Play that again. And... All right. Groovy. I know we're gonna need to do some switch tuning here in a second too, guys. So if you guys are interested in how I tune switches, you'll also get to see that in just a moment. The guy who built this the first time around too did a really nice job keeping it pretty safe. I only have the smallest, littlest micro scratch right there on the actual case. Everything else looks pretty darn good. I wouldn't even call it like a micro scratch. It's almost just like a perforation almost on the case. Like almost like a little splotch, you know what I mean? I am not tuning switches for this. Like, so the client had, like, I think 62 of them. I am tuning like 3 switches for this thing. People are flexing on me. People are just, you know, they're doing these little things like, man, I'll get them to just tune a couple, and then next thing it's a little bit more, and then next thing you know, I'm tuning a whole build for somebody. People are whittling me down. I'm gonna be a professional streamer before I tune switches for people. I hope I don't eat my words, but I am not going to get into the switch tuning game on any consistent basis, that is. At least not by my own choice. I've tuned switches for 2 people. And one of those builds went into a buddy of mine who actually was one of the reasons I got into the hobby. He didn't know it at the time, but later we became friends. And yep, there's the short story there. And then the other was for a Corsa. I just recently did that. So I went an entire year plus doing build services for people and never tuned anyone's board all the way. If I go huge, hire someone to tune switches for me. I'll have to get, there's only one person I recommend. Well, I can take that back. I've recommended more than one person. But there's only one person I recommend regularly now because the other guy is no longer tuning switches for people. He's out. The only person I recommend these days is, and it's for lack of me knowing people who do it, but Remsky, he's the only person I know that I can say without a doubt does a fantastic job every time. I'm sure there's other good tuners out there. I just don't know. I don't know. How hard can it be though, right? I mean, you just take your time and you paint some switches. Get your inner Bob Ross on. Yeah, I've been thinking about what to do for the guides coming up on my YouTube channel, and I've been thinking, I've got a fun project that's working right now, but I've been thinking about doing a switch tuning guide, because people that have tried my builds, and I tune my own switches all myself, I do my own personal builds, but that's where I draw the line 9 times out of 10. But I've been thinking about doing a switch tuning guide. What other guides do you think would be useful, guys? Aside from like product reviews. I'm definitely going to be doing some product reviews on my channel. Are there any other good things that need to be like explained? Like maybe like a soldering guide? Like people that tune into my streams get the benefit of, you know, hearing my soldering spiel. I go over like the Woden method and everything with people on stream, but people that don't watch my stream, or, you know, if anyone's like me, when I watch a keyboard stream, I pretty much just put it on as like background noise and don't pay attention to every part of the process unless it's like a new build that I'm really interested in. Spring guide for custom switches? Like what, like spring weighting or spring tuning, or You gotta go with the TX lube station, right? drop a little droplet of oil in for each spring. Isn't that what you gotta do? Spring swaps. So that's, yeah, I mean, you can that, I feel like that would be just such a short guide though. It'd be like, hey, spring swap your switches. Use whatever weight you like. Roll credits. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. I mean, let me know if you think there's more to that. I just feel like that's one of those opinionated things. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, what weight do you like? And if you don't know, grab a whole bunch and try it out until you find the one you like. You know what I mean? I don't know, I could be wrong there, but I feel like there's not much content there. What else was I thinking? I was thinking like a quick soldering guide. I was thinking tuning switches, because people ask that all the time. How do I tune my switches? I should do what's the best switch for gaming. Oh, I might not have to tune these at all. Hyper mode art is followed. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. We are getting closer and closer, my friends, to the 1,000 follower mark in Twitch, where at that point we do have a giveaway coming up. We need to get 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers, and Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm going to be giving away 3 different artisans, for one for each of those social accounts we get there. Do I film my switches? So filming switches is just kind of like for the memes, right? I mean, yeah, but there's not much of a reason to do that. I'll show you how I'm gonna do these. I have 3 to do for this build. 3 switches, 3 alpacas. Don't go anywhere. After this commercial break, we will show you how to tune switches. The one thing I can say with certainty that you must do, and this is a quality of life tip, get yourself, I'm not even sponsored by these guys, get yourself one of these. This is a CNC'd aluminum cube of goodness. Well, I guess rectangle with some prongs. This is the greatest switch opener you can absolutely, it's the best money can buy. It's like, hello, focus. It's like $20, but it is totally worth it. It'll open up all your switches without any fuss. Let me show you. Boom. 1. Here's 2. Like, done are the days where I sit there struggling, trying to open up switches. And thank God, because switch opening with those like little like keychain things or whatever the hell it was, I realize this is awful contrast. Let me switch all of those up. Put this guy here. There, that should be better. Yeah, just, I get it. Like, you know, they're trailblazing, right? There weren't many products on the market that were for opening up switches. But where are they even? I don't even think I have a set of those anymore. I think I threw them out. As soon as I got that key switch opener, they went the way of the dodo. So here's what we're doing for tuning switches. We've got our 205G0. We've got our slightly wider tweezers. We've we've got our number 0 paintbrush. Paintbrush is all personal preference. Doesn't really matter. Just load the paintbrush up and then paint it off so that you've got a nice clean paintbrush. I mean, you can see I don't have much lube on this paintbrush at all. And that's the point. Like, there's not much on, like, that corner right there is the most amount you see. Like, there's, like, pretty much everything is just white clean. 205G0 is less, not more, every single time. I do the rails on both sides. Then I do around the base. And then I do the dabble right there where the stem goes in. And that one's done. This is a new thing of lube too, which I don't like. I normally like painting like the bottom of the barrel so I can see what kind of action I'm getting on this paintbrush. So I did one side, the other, paint the bottom again, and then dabble the middle. There's 2. We are not doing this for any extended period of time, my fellow viewers. Fear not. This is not a switch lubing stream. About the only type of keyboard chore you'll see me doing 9 times out of 10 is desoldering. The only time you should see me switch tuning is little things like this. Like if somebody's short a couple switches, or if, for example, they didn't have like a spacebar switch and I feel like it's too light otherwise. I always put a 90 degreer in the spacebar if it's too light. Or a 90 degree or a 90 gram. So, and then I basically just do, this is a linear, right? So I mean, you can pretty much just do nice even brush strokes around it all. This is why we have the, oh come on. This is why we have the tweezers, so that we don't do what I just did and have to touch it. It got away from me. Thing got slippery. And I do this guy right here in the middle. Okay, and then, oh, you know what we did? We should be fine on this spring because we've done the bottom and top housing, but hold on. I want to do the springs too. For the springs, I have a bag. Here's my bag of gunk. I've already got some springs in there too, so I'm going to put these guys off onto the sides of the bag. 1, 2. Did one get doubled up? Or did I lose one? Where'd the third? Oh, the third spring's here, fam. I'm just going to massage the springs here. Give them a nice little deep rub. Because I've got other springs down there that I don't want to get these guys mixed up with. Because I don't know what weight these are, to be honest with you. And I don't know if what I've got is the same. There's our springs. So this bag is like a mixture of LSD oil, GPL 105, 104, 103, 203. There might be some 205 in there. There's some DuPont dry lube in there. This basically just has anything under the sun that I lube springs with. It's mostly oils. There's a lot of LSD oil in there, I'm sure. And so, yeah, so it's basically... it is not a Corsa build tonight, sir. I'm dying here with that board. I messaged Mike on Friday, Tom, and I asked him where he was at. Soon, TM. I'm losing it, dude. Like, that's been the longest I've ever had anybody wait. It's nuts how long I've had your board. I'm getting nervous at this point. Like, my house is gonna like catch on fire or something. How you doing though, dude? It's good to see you, man. I realized you'd be doing better with that Corsa in hand. But that aside, how is everything? I didn't know you had an Alice. Did I build that for you? Am I losing it? Have I seen your Alice before? I might be losing it. Blacktop. Oh, I did know. Yep, I did know you had that. That instantly reminds me of it, though. Yeah, the blacktop. You were telling me about that when you picked that. The acquisition of that I was familiar with. I was familiar with that now. Yep, lubed holy pandas. I can't believe you still do tactiles. I can't do it. You've tried the best linears I can offer. You've got a set of the West Germans that I hand-picked. You were in on that buy. And you're still typing on tactiles. Racing Giraffe, hello to you. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's good to see you, Tom. I'm glad things are good, man. Hope your tax filing went successful today. I need to do the same. I have not yet filed my taxes either. I got my Trump bucks though. That was fun. Yeah. I can understand that. Well, good. I'm glad I was on your recommended there, Racing Giraffe. If you're into keyboard content, you found the right place. We keep it pretty chill on here. Builds, streams, reviews, unboxings, and the like. Nothing really much to it. Alright, guys. Tom, do you see this shit? Did you see me, tuning switches here? Because my wife works for free almost. Don't let her hear me say that. How long she's worked at the hospital. But yeah, with the kids too. So the kids automatically got you, I think, 600. So it wasn't maxed out by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, we still got something. Them Trump bucks. All right. Plus, it went off of 2018. So 2018 was right before I think my wife and I both got promotions, and so we would not be getting it now. All right, let's see here. We're on that guy and that guy. That should be good. Yep. Just checking now to make sure all of our switches are in. So I was watching Nathan Kim's stream the other day. Who knows what soldering iron he's using these days? Because he's no longer using a Hako, and it looks really nice, compact, and minimal. Does anyone know which iron he's using? Because I'm gonna need to pick me up one of those. Not too bad, guys. We only had one that was crunched. A TS80. Okay. Let's look that up. Aha. TS80 portable soldering iron. That's actually not too bad in terms of pricing either. His looks a little different though. That's only $80. That's nice. Oh, the TS100 is what he has. The TS100, because he has the... It's something like that though. It's either TS80 or TS100, because he has that black handle on his. TS100. Okay, yep. Chat confirmed TS100. Let's see here. Is it on Amazon? Do I need to... TS100. Oh yeah, look how small that is. But wait, what is that battery? What in the hell is that battery system? That is heinous. Is that really the way that thing connects? Oh, nope. This is an upgraded original TS100. Like, look at this, guys. They have like this weird, wonky version of it on... Look at that upgraded variant. Oh, hold on. You know what I can do? You guys don't need to click the link. You can just look at here. Look at that. That's weird. What is he doing there? That's a bundle that comes with a battery. You can just use it plugged in the wall. So with this, I mean, do you have what then? So you can use it like that with it plugged into the wall with that little battery pack, or you can have that battery pack charged up and then it's wireless. You still have the wire obviously, but that's kind of cool. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, so you've got this for 70 and then you've got the OG for 70, right? Is that it? What is this? What's included with this guy? So you get, is this the same thing? Is it Luck Case? Who makes this thing? I need to research this. This is nice though. It's so much smaller. The Hako is a big boy, and I really don't like the Hako. Also, doesn't have a nice aesthetic. It honestly looks like, you know, throwing clown shoes on a tuxedo. You know what I mean? You've got, you know, the nice aesthetic of everything on the stream here, and then all of a sudden I take out a blue and yellow soldering iron. Yeah, so using it plugged into the wall would be supreme. I've got a surge protector that's mounted up under my desk. I could put the battery pack in the little cable holder underneath. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pick up something like that. I'm also gonna need to get something better than the exhaust fan I have, because the exhaust fan I have, I find that it's so large that I just say screw it and don't use it. And that's not a spot I want to be in the habit of doing. Like, I should be using my exhaust fan every time I solder, and more times than not, I just open the window up and say screw it, because the fan is so loud. Alright, so we should have thought about this and done this a little bit differently. Because, as I mentioned, I don't want to be soldering on top of this desk mat, and I also don't want to be flipping this and have this board sitting on that mat either. And so, do I thought I had a pad around here somewhere. You know what, we can do the bubble wrap thing again. That just doesn't look as good. But we can do that. We can certainly do the bubble wrap thing again. Let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. This peasant setup we've got going on here tonight. Move that a little back further so I don't burn it. Yeah, because I just don't want to get my desk mat ruined, and I don't want to get this guy's polycarb top ruined either. The light is making the iron look... Oh, yeah, I see it too. It does, doesn't it? It's just catching it. The LED on the other side of my desk is just catching it in a funny way. It's not even on yet. The iron just got turned on. That's funny. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It did make it look hot. All right, guys. So we got this all prepped up. We're ready to go here. Yeah, so we are getting into the soldering portion of the stream here. If you're new to the stream, just tuning in, toss me a follow. We're getting our way to 1,000 followers here. As soon as we do, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a couple of artisan keycaps. And we've got exciting updates on the horizon. Chat, tell me what you've got working on. This is always the part of the stream where I have trouble reading and keeping up, but I will catch back up and I will do my quick little spiel here as well. Yeah, as I mentioned, I stream keyboard content on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. I do build streams for clients for the vast majority of those streams. And so if you are in the keyboard hobby and you're maybe looking to get a custom keyboard for your first one, or just want me to build something for you, I have a build service that is currently open and taking commissions. The turnaround time is generally about a week to 2 weeks, dependent upon how many people are in the queue. But that timing of a week to 2 weeks holds consistent unless I let you know otherwise. Easiest way to get that started is to slide into DMs on Discord. I offer full service with the exception of switch lubing. You pay a flat rate and the full build is completed with stabilizers tuned and all. You provide me the case, plate, PCB, switches, and stabilizers. I build it up. You pay the flat rate and return shipping costs. Easy come, easy go. I also include build streams, obviously, for your board, as well as the video on demand for YouTube. And then also I will provide typing sounds for most keyboards that I build, as well as a gallery. So little extra additions that I feel like go a long ways. Next, the stream you are watching today is sponsored by Zeal PC. If you use the link below, you should. I was made aware earlier that my link might be faulty, but you should be getting 10% off your entire Zeal PC order. I'll be investigating the reason as to why that link was having issues earlier this afternoon, or I should say this evening, with Zeal. we are also, and I should say too, that gives me a little bit of a kickback. So I really do appreciate it if you guys use my Zeal PC link. Like I said, 10% off your entire order. Stuff like that goes a long way to helping me make upgrades to the stream. And that's basically what I do with these build streams. You know, and the things I build for clients and the donations, subscriptions you guys give to me, it pretty much all goes rolled right back into the production quality of this stream. So the beautiful cameras and audio that you guys are enjoying today is all brought to you by you, for the most part. Not really, I put way too much of my own money into this. If my wife only knew. Good thing I can sell keyboards and keycaps and stuff to offset the costs. Anyways, today's stream is also brought to you by Mint Autumn. Our good friend Jack Static is a long supporter of the stream. He's a great guy. He's the creator who brought to you the Rukia keyboard. He's got many other products that are going to be on the way soon, TM. His website doesn't have any products on it at the moment, but that will change soon. So definitely keep your eyes on mintautumn.com. We're going to have a lot of cool content coming out of his workshops here soon, hopefully. We'll get to build up some prototypes and new things, projects that our friend Jack Static has been working on. So show him your support. He's a fantastic member of the community. If you'd like to sponsor this content, if you've got a company of your own that's keyboard related, feel free to slide on into DMs. All right, so let's catch up here on chat. That's a bundle that comes with the battery. Yep. The light is making the iron look rather hot. Yep. I never tried out Cat Profile before, so I'm about to get in on Arctic. Cat Profile does look pretty cool. Yeah. I've not tried it myself either. Has anyone else seen those new Zeal switches, the 3-in-1? I don't think those have made it out quite yet. I saw Zeal's Instagram story just the other day, and so I know he's not selling them yet. Hopefully I will get a batch of those in for review before they go live, and I'll be able to give you guys my my thoughts on them. But yeah, Zeal's always working on something cool. I saw the Instagram story. If you guys haven't seen that, he does have an Instagram story up that shows them in action. I'm not sure how he swaps between clicky, linear, and tactile, but he had them right next to each other, and it was like, you know, click, 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 then you could hear the tactile bump, and then you could, you know, hear how smooth the linear one was. So you could tell, you know, they all looked the same, and it's a uniform switch, but I don't know how he's doing that. Man, the science, engineering of that leaf to make it so that it can swap back and forth. I mean, I know in the past, right, there's people that like click modded their Alp switches or did the reverse with them. I mean, this is kind of like that, right? Except it's just like one distinct product that does it all for you, without you having to like do something aftermarket and really modding it yourself, which is kind of cool. I don't know of any switch that's done all three. Do you guys? Let's see here. I like the stem color. Yeah. What is it? Isn't it like it's got to be a bar that you can add, remove, I would think, but I have no idea how you make it linear. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't either. I would. Yeah, that would make sense. Some way to like affect the leaf so that you go between a clicky and a tactile. But then the stem has got to be inherently linear, and so there's got to be a way to like add tactility in the switch without changing the stem. So that's an interesting problem to have, right? Not problem, but a challenge to overcome. The engineer in me has got, my brain is just, it's percolating over the different ways that could work. It's kind of cool to think about. Alrighty. So we do have a 4.5 millimeter plate on this guy. So so we don't really have to worry about the switches going anywhere to speak of tonight, which is nice. I always go over some soldering techniques, especially when the plate is a little bit unwieldy. This is honestly not a good build guide to be tuning into if you're looking for content like that, because the switches aren't going anywhere. Pretty much just pushing them through row at a time to make sure they're seated correctly, and then going on at it. I saw someone say maybe it's a flippable stem. So yeah, I wonder, like, what if you had like the top little cross section of the stem, if you could take that out and then flip the stem over in some way? Man, that'd be crazy. It's like a transformer. Call them the Optimus Prime switches. Those things are more than meets the eye. It's a clicky, tactile, and linear in disguise. Oh god. That was lame. Yeah, one side tactile, one side linear, and then add a click jacket. There we go. Racing Giraffe, thanks so much, man. Did the corny Transformers joke get you to follow the stream? Was that what you needed to hear? Either way, whatever did it for you, I appreciate the follow, my friend. Yeah, we're using the old breathe out as you solder technique tonight. I'm trying to clean my tip a lot more than I normally would too. Yeah, I appreciate that. Follow all the keyboard streamers. That's right. Alrighty. Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Now that it's dark out, I just want to close the blinds here. All these lights in my office. I'm lighting myself up here in the front window of my house. Putting a spotlight on myself pretty much, right for the whole neighborhood. Okay. So yeah, we've got just about 2 rows down. Two more full rows to go. The bottom row always goes quick. The Think6.5 actually runs a flipped pipe key on it, which is interesting. You don't see that too much these days. So what have you guys been purchasing in lately? Who's gassed up? I know I always am. I got a cable today. I'm super stoked for this cable. I can't wait to show it up on stream. So the cable I gotta be honest, I've been tired of coils lately. I've had, all my cables have been coiled for like the last 3 or 4 years. And I'm over it. And so we're going straight, baby. We've got a straight LEMO connector with a USB-C and a USB mini connector. It's gonna be all black with the black shielding around the USB ports and a carbon tech flex on it. So I'm super stoked for that cable. I think it's gonna make pretty much every keyboard on my desk look great. I always get something real neutral with the cable. You can get that little extra color pop with them, you know, if you know you're gonna be running like, you know, one key set, like, you know, if you're gonna be running like laser or something, you want that laser cable to go with it. But I always have beige or white on black or something, you know, on most all my keyboards, and then the variants too when I'm doing build streams. So yeah, we've always got something different. So black with that carbon tech flex, I think that'll go with just about everything. Speaking of, so I'm soldering at 675 right now, but I generally drop the temperatures down a little bit for Zeal housings. But aside from that, 675 for most everything. That's Fahrenheit, obviously. 675 degrees Celsius. We're going nuclear up in here. All right, so we got one more full row to do, guys and girls. Lumen FN0, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Teha types knockoff. Hey, I'll take it, man. Whatever. That puts me in good company. Nathan Kim is, I would call him a good buddy of mine now. I've been enough of a pain in the ass to Nathan Kim over the years. And I've chatted him up enough to say that at this point, he's a buddy of mine. Had the pleasure of meeting him in person in New York City, and I actually owned one of Nathan's TKLs way back in the day. I'm so stoked that he's doing this full time and that that's working. It gives me hope. It gives me hope, guys. Make me enough money so that I can quit my job and just do this full time. I can always go back to tech. They won't care. What were you doing for the past 2 years, 3 years, however long it ends up being? I was building keyboards professionally. Any person I would interview with would be like, lol, what? You're hired, and you want to build a keyboard for me too? It's becoming so much more mainstream these days too. Like more and more people are getting into it. So who's getting in on GMK Classic Blue? Doesn't that end here in the next couple days? It will. Yeah, racing giraffe, it will. Vendors are well aware. I've actually talked to 2 vendors in the last week. And they both have projects coming soon to market that will release boards in the $100 to $200 price point range when you factor in the full build, keycaps, switches, stabilizers, everything. So, I mean, you're talking then having cases in like the $100 price point range. And so, you know, all in, you might be a little bit over $200, but even with KVD fans for a custom, you're over $300 more times than not with a lot of their builds. And so, yeah, so vendors are more than aware that there's a huge marketplace to be taken advantage of in that $100 to $200, even $250 price point range that will really help people jump into the hobby more and more. Like, I remember when I first started getting into this hobby, I noticed things on Reddit that caught my eye that were custom and super expensive, and it was a huge shock for me when I first saw like a $500 plus keyboard. It's like, how are people spending that much money on it? And I bought one of like the VE80s off of Mass Drop, with MX clears on it, and that was one of the more expensive keyboards I could justify purchasing. It was like $120 or something like that. At the time, I was like, yeah, I can't spend more than that. I mean, the alternative is I could just use a membrane keyboard and deal with life for free, almost in many cases, And so then I started getting deeper and deeper into it. But yeah, so anyways, vendors know that like $100 to $200 is a great point to be at for that consumer who's not yet at the deep end and willing to spend that much money, doesn't know if the hobby's for them or whatever else, and can justify getting a do-it-yourself type kit at that price. So, if he's buying a $200, are razors $200 now? Because that's crazy. Imagine buying a set of stock Razer keyboard with like a case that doesn't even open for $200. You have to like pry the thing open to get at the switches if you ever want to change anything out. Like, ooh, nope. We had flux jumping a little bit on this one. All right, so we're just about done here, guys, with the soldering. At least I hope so. Goddess Jana, hello. How are you doing? I'm just doing a quick visual inspection of this guy here. Take a look as well, guys. Did I miss anything? I'm looking for those nice peaked little Christmas trees on each of my joints. So far, so good. I think we caught everything here. The Huntsman Elite. I remember Nathan Kim did a review on the Huntsman Elite. Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense. Corsair's K95. Wow. That's jumping up there in a price point too that I would have thought those guys would have tried to avoid. Like, I would think like 150 would be like the maximum you would want to cap out. Thanks so much, Goddess Jenna. I appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. All right. Good news, friends. We did not have, let me finish my complete visual inspection. It doesn't look like we've had any flux jump on us. This was a bit of a nerve-wracking build because we had the polycarbonate case that's integrated into the plate, and so we had to make sure we didn't get it scuffed. No dents. Which is why we had the this bubble wrap down. All right, let's go ahead and plug her in and give it a test to see if we're good before we turn the iron off. And then we can get this keyboard dressed up and have some fun with it for a little bit. Yeah, do some typing tests. All right, you guys have been warned. These LEDs are the brightest thing. Like, the sun has gone down. This is the brightest thing in the Eastern Hemisphere here in just a second. Divert your eyes. If it turns on. Did my USB 3.0 port just start having issues? Because, nope, it didn't. There it is. There it is. This thing is nuclear. It's so bright. Yeah, so welcome. Welcome, Jana. Yeah, welcome. They figured out as long as it looks pretty, people will pay anything for it. Yeah, I mean, that's it to an extent, Coffee Made, but I would think if you're spending $200 on a keyboard, you would do a little bit of research and you would see that, you know, there are other alternatives out there. Like, I would think that at that point, their research would bring people to Reddit, and then at Reddit they can see, oh, there's other things that if I just up the price a little bit, I can get, you know, that might be superior. But also, with that said, there's a portion of the market that just wants something and wants something now. And so regardless of what it is, if they can Amazon 2-day it to themselves, they'll go for that as opposed to something different. Yep. Okay, let's see here. But yeah, I totally understand that for some people, they just want the convenience of getting something immediately. So there's definitely a pull to that, and I can understand that. That must be function. Yep, we're going with that's function for sure because everything else is working. That's the function key. Yep, that's the function key because there's how you turn off the lights. Ooh, that's cool. We got like a breathing effect on it. Oh boy, now I can't turn that off. How do I change the hue? I want to change it to like a green or something like that. Oh, there we go. It's like red, purple. There's green. Look at that, it like lights that guy up too. So the bottom of it now is blue. Oh, and it's like cycling through lights. Oh, that's kind of odd. We'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that and we'll cycle through lights. I need to turn probably, I'm like not exposing for that light, and so it's blasting out my camera. I'll need to turn that down if you guys want to see that. Here, hold on. Brush goods like this. Get that out of the way. And then we wanted to get this out of the way as well. Should be all good there, and there. Just clean up my desk a little bit, guys, and then we are going to dress this thing up in Triumph Adler tonight. The research phase is fun. Learning about new things. Yeah, the research phase is fun. Just getting to the tip of the iceberg. Are these standard for all PCBs? Ghosting and N-key, yeah, so the keyboard text like anti-ghosting or N-keyless, N-key rollover. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty standard. Like most PCBs that you see in the custom world are gonna have that technology on there, but there's a lot of like gimmicky stuff that gaming companies will try and tell you is like incorporated into their PCB, that like speeds up response rate and stuff like that. Like, I don't buy that for an instant. And so, you know, your mileage may vary, but I think that's all gimmicks. All right, so let's see here. We're done with that. We're done with that. We want to, what did I say I just wanted to do? Oh, I'm forgetting now. I'm having a brain fart. What was it that I just said I wanted to do? Haha, what's up, Jay? Good to see you, my dude. Yeah, man, the depth black. It's looking pretty hot. As always. Yeah, key ratives are good. I like them. I have a couple of actually of those. I don't have them on a keyboard right now, but if you go to my Instagram, I did have a red blank set and a beige blank set that I do believe I picked pictures of and posted them. They're just a little less thick than GMK, but yeah, the quality of them is pretty nice. And so yeah, for the price point, you can't beat it. I mean, they're like $30 for a full set of keycaps. And so, you know, if you're waiting on a GMK buy and you want to get up and running on something immediately, go for it. There's no reason not to. All right, what did I just say? There was something I wanted to do before I put this board back together, and I can't remember what it was now. If there was something, or if I'm just losing my mind. I might be losing my mind. It's fair to say that that might be happening. Oh yeah, turn down the camera, the exposure. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that just right. But yeah, that was one thing. This is looking pretty sweet, guys. I love this chamfered edge here. Oh boy, hold up. Hold up, we got a problem. I missed a set of screws for holding down. I did, here they are. Where is my screwdriver? These guys go into the PCB somewhere, and I missed them. Where did they go? There's one, there's two. 3 and 4. Did I get 3 and 4? Nope, I didn't. Here's one. One goes right in here. There's one. That'd be funny. It's like I get the keyboard back to the client and I just hand them a handful of hardware. Like, I didn't need all this stuff. Here you go. That would not be good. But what do you mean you didn't need this? I handed it to you and I wasn't holding any hardware when it was all put together. When I handed it to you, that screw goes somewhere. So again, Janet, you're gonna find that most of the PCBs already have that tech built in. I don't think anyone's really building a PCB these days without N-key rollover on it, and 6-key rollover at a bare minimum. Yeah, so most of these PCBs too, the other part of it that's brilliant is that a lot of people miss out on if they're not catching the nuance of a custom keyboard is these PCBs are fully customizable. And so harping on that for just 2 seconds here, I'll go on my little pedestal and then I'll go back to chill mode. That allows you to pretty much take a board that would have seemingly little function to it and make it your own and put multiple key maps on it. So for example, like this keyboard has everything I need on it. It has home and end and page up and page down. This function button right here, I press this, so I'm having my hands on home row the entire time. I press function and then This is page up and page down, E and D, and then home is S, and F is end. So by doing this, I can go end, I can go home, end, home, page up, page down, and then I also have my arrow keys right here. So it doesn't look like I have arrow keys on this keyboard. Well, really, I just hit function, and then I have up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. So up, down, left, right. So right there. So I just use my pinky and middle finger to get those arrow keys. Other people do like on a lot of, I saw this was pretty cool. So people will use a function modifier here instead of caps lock or control. And so they'll have a function modifier here so they can hit this guy, and then these are your arrows as well. So you have like up and down, left and right, up and down, left and right, or like up, down, left, right. Like you have like a reverse WASD, so you have I and K that are up and down, and then J and L that are left and right. Yeah, kind of crazy, but yeah. Grandpa and Grandma spent their life soldering defensive systems in Soviet Russia, and I'm looking at you soldering keys. I'm like, whoa, magic. Yeah, no, it sounds like your grandma and grandpa probably have a bit more soldering experience than I do. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they've probably got me beat. And depending upon what working conditions look like in those factories, they might have the lungs to prove it as well. Because soldering fumes are definitely not pleasant. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The custom layout options on the PCB really afford you a lot of flexibility. And so, for that reason alone, you've got so much more, well, I already said it, flexibility in your build. Alright, so let's see here. Is this hardware all the same size? It looks like it might be a little different. Yeah, those guys are a little bit different. So I'm guessing that oh, you know what? It almost looks like the short boys go in the back. Let's see here if the long boys fit right. My stream concept is so beautiful, by the way. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we keep it pretty chill. Pretty much just keyboard builds, keyboard content, keyboard Q&A. There's enough going on in the keyboard world these days where we can pretty much keep it all related to them. So if you guys were here for the desoldering build that we did, their soldering stream that we did on Sunday, you already know. We have to drop these guys in the back here. And then I have to use this tiny little Allen key here instead of my normal tool, because that tool does not reach. And so this guy right here was the pog champ of the stream on Sunday. All the aside, so the screws can fit in either side, but the longer go in the back. Really? Because they fit in. Oh, yep, you're absolutely right. It's interesting that they have the cutouts long enough in the front then. That's very peculiar. So why is it that they go in the back or the front? Because it looks like both of them are the exact same size. Are you selling your keyboards, or is it just a hobby? So the keyboards that I have in my personal collection are typically not for sale. Every now and then I sell something, but for the most part, I offer build services for clients, and so that is for sale. And so if you're getting into the hobby, which it sounds like you are, and you're nervous about soldering a keyboard yourself, what a lot of people find is that you can hire somebody like me. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say, don't hire someone like me. Hire me. I'm the one that should build your keyboard. And they'll build it for them. So when you get into the actual process of soldering and putting the whole thing together. You've got somebody with years and years of experience with tens and even hundreds of builds under their belt. I actually crunched the numbers. I built over 100 keyboards for clients. I was looking at my invoices the other day. It's pretty crazy. I don't have an exact count, but I know it was over 80 in like the middle of 2019, and I know I've built 20 boards in the last 6 months. All right, so we switched it back up. The long ones have been in it. So in the poly, they fit either, but won't on the aluminum ones. Okay, so that makes sense then. I like having the longer ones in the back anyways. That sounds like it'd probably work out, better. I feel like you'd have more weight towards the back end of it, right? Bat screws also have different lengths. Yeah. So, but yeah, every now and then, like I said, every now and then I'll sell a personal build of my own. But that's not usual these days. I pretty much got my collection down to where I want it these days, and so I don't really sell anything. Alrighty. I don't know if you guys noticed that screw that was in my tray there. It was not for this build. That was for a CPU heatsink that I was taking off the other day, and it got away from me. You're thinking about making and selling custom keyboards in your country. Nice. Where are you from? I won't gatekeep you, but it's starting to become more and more saturated. But at the same time, there is such a marketplace for people buying and selling keyboards. Like, every group buy that goes off, there are not enough spots for the people that want to get in it. So if you've got a product that people like, you will absolutely get buyers, and more than you bank on, probably. Turkey, okay. There we go. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay. Looking good here. All right. I'm just going to take a quick second here, go wash my hands here after completing the vast majority of this build. We will be right back to dress this guy up and get some typing tests going. Be right back, everyone. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know if anyone heard that in the background. My little baby was losing it. She's almost 2, and she's just getting to the point where like her little personality's coming out, and she's scared. I left the closet door open, and she was scared of the dark closet. All right, let's go ahead and dress this thing up. Oh, I remembered what I was gonna do too. I remember now. We were gonna turn the light off so that we could see the LED a little bit better. That's what it was. Which we will do once I have it all dressed up. Yeah, she was like, she's crying, standing up in her bed, pointing at the closet when I open. So I like turn the light on in the closet and carry her over. I'm like, see, it's okay, there's nothing in here. I'm like, you okay? She goes, uh-huh. She's not talking yet, but I get a lot of uh-huh and It's if it's no, and a uh-huh if we're all good. So we got the uh-huh. I love this lock key. Look at that lock key. It's so cool. Alright, so we're going to do page up and page down. Man, how about the, I guess nowadays, the OG GMK sets. I haven't gotten the new GMK set, but I've heard the trays are some garbage. I think Dracula will be the first one I get with the new trays. That's a big rip. I wish they didn't do the redesign of those. I guess it saves them some cost, but man, I've heard they're not good. This is such a funky, cool set. The Triumph Adler. Hello Dirk has followed. Thank you very much. And hello Dirk. And Tomaz318 has also followed. Thanks very much, you guys. Appreciate that. That is so sweet. My girl, 2 years, 1 month, goes crazy about dogs. Sees a dog and gets very emotional about it. Or ducks. She goes feed geese and eats half of the bread herself out of anxiousness. That's hysterical. Oh my god. Yeah, we have to watch out. We have Canadian geese here, and those are not nice birds. And so I can never get the kids too close to Canadian geese. They'll get attacked. So what's the point about these GMK caps? So GMK is just a nice keycap plastic. They are quite expensive, but if you look at the difference between them and other keycaps, you can see a lot of differences, i.e. they're very thick, they have nice mold to them. I don't really have something trashy to put side by side with them, but you feel the quality in them instantly. Like you put a GMK keycap set or anything like the die sub keycap sets, there's lots of nice like ePBT sets that are pretty good these days. Like I really like ePBT. I'm typically a PBT person over the ABS plastics on GMK. You get a lot of cool colorway options though with GMK. So that's generally the answer there for you. So you definitely pay for a quality. And there is a quality to it. But yeah, what I was talking about a minute ago, they used to have these trays, all their keycaps shipped in trays like this. I guess they did some cost savings where the trays are now smaller, and I've heard they're really bad. All right, we need the short right shift. There's that. Oh, nope, that's too long. We need this shift. And we need some arrows. yet you're not wrong. They are quite expensive, and especially if you go aftermarket. So I recommend if you're doing a GMK keycap set, you definitely go in at the group buy cost. I would not spend any more for GMK than what group buy is on them, because that also is expensive. And so, yeah, when it comes down to it though, you're still paying a pretty penny for it. They're probably in and around the range of probably, let's do code control. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Let's see here. Do I know the GK61 wooden kit? How is it for beginners? I do not. I do not know that keyboard. I'll have to look it up real quick. We will do so here in just a minute. Let's take a look here real quick at this. Let's see what we got here. Oh man, look at that. My camera is going to readjust itself, but this is what I wanted to do earlier and I just forgot. This is what I had forgotten to do earlier. So there we go. That is pretty cool. Pretty neat looking. Oh my goodness, it's so bright. How about that? These LEDs are probably some of the brightest LEDs I've ever seen. There we go. Turn that thing off. That's pretty wild. Yeah, so the middle there's got a brass weight in it. It's a PVD polished brass weight. And so here's the full build. I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually going to show you guys. Smile for YouTube, everybody. We're about to show off the board here in just a second. Let's go here and here we go. So here's tonight's build, everyone. There we go. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Here's the back of it. That shine on the PVD brass, brighter than my future. Unfortunately, with polycarbonate, you see those little micro scratches. I know I didn't do those because I see more of them in the bottom of the case than I do on the top, but that's just the nature of the game with polycarb. Yeah, these cool little chamfer edges on the bottom of it. It's pretty neat. I like the design overall of this thing. Look, I'm like Geordi from Star Trek. Got it right over my eyes. Captain, we need you at the bridge. All right, everyone. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking one tonight. Let's see what it sounds like. What do you guys think? We will go ahead and get the old typing test queued up here. Give me just a second, guys, too. Obviously I want to get this queued up, but I also want to wash my hands real quick. I meant to do that a second ago, but my kid was crying, so that took priority. That took priority over the last break. Let's see here. There we go, and minimize that down. here. Yeah, there you go. Definitely plug the headsets in. Plug them headsets in. Okay, cool. All right, I'll be right back. We got the typing test queued up here. Oh, you know what? I resized my... Let's switch this here. I resized my webcam a little bit to make it a little less large. So let me bring this guy over a little bit and then up a little bit. Oh, whoops, Control Z. I just want to bring it up with Alt. Is that perfect? No, it's not. Up a little bit more. That looks perfect there. And then over one more frame. There we go. Do I have any blank space in between those two? I think that's it, right? I think that looks good. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay. Who's ready for some typing sounds? Speaking of headsets, I reached out to 64 Audio the other day. I might actually be getting a nice little discount from them. I don't know, we'll see. I'm still working through it with them. But that'd be pretty sweet if I could get a discount from them and get some custom IEMs. So the switches are some Alpaca linear switches. They've been lubed up with 205 G0, as well as a 60 gram TX spring, and the springs were lubed with a paraffin oil. With the exception of these guys, 1, 2, and 3. I lubed those ones personally. I'm watching your live stream while listening to lo-fi music. This is one of the best experiences I've ever had. So I actually, I don't know if you can hear it, but I should be able to. I'm playing lo-fi music as well in the background, which I need to actually pause. And so let me go in here and pause that and go here. And now you guys should be able to see everything. All right. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let's see what this thing sounds like, yeah? Oh. Why is that not? Okay, cool. We're good. It really does. I had my headset on, so I was listening to a lot of that through the headset there, which I regret. Like, it sounds crazy. It sounds nice. What do you guys think? I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. Let's see if we can hit 110. I have an interesting key map on this thing. Yeah, the PC does. It really sounds good. Okay. There's Alt Tab. It's an interesting key map layout. Like, do I have? What am I missing here? I keep getting into some mode with this keyboard where it like, what's up, C? What's up, Smudge? How's it going, dude? I see you. Am I not typing the exact same thing? Did I like? Hold on. Windows there. That's the weirdest thing ever, having Windows there. I think it's monkey type doing something weird. Let me refresh this. Oh shoot, my base cam got frozen. Hold on, sorry guys. Yep, I got you. Hold on, let me refresh that. I think it's my, so I think what happens is the, well, let me do activate and activate. There we go. There we go, there we go. Maybe I'm just really still. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I'm the stillest guy there is. When I unplugged the key, I wonder if like, so I'm still getting used to this motherboard and the USB interfaces on it. Yeah, so the Alpacas have a pretty cool sound to them. I hope it sounds true. But yeah, they're on a 4.5 millimeter polycarbonate plate here. So it's not a common plate combo that you'll have probably heard them on before. They sound juicy thick though, for sure. So yeah, that definitely is definitely a nice combo. I definitely like that a lot. Yeah, McSarty, hey, what's going on as well? How are you doing? And so yeah, I can highly recommend this combo actually. I like the sound of your keys. I want to build my first mechanical keyboard. I want you to also build your first mechanical keyboard. It's a fun hobby to be in, that's for sure. Let's see if we can hit 110 here tonight, guys. Nope. 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 Oh man, we were close. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. So the GK61. Let's take a look here. Let's go here. We'll do a display capture. We were looking at this earlier, the TS100. So yeah, so we want to do the GK61 wooden case. Let's see if I've seen these guys before. Ah, an AliExpress case. So here's the deal with wood. It's probably going to be okay because you have metal standoffs for this thing, and I don't think you'd have an issue. Not like you would with like wooden keycaps, because people have done that before too with like wooden keycaps. Wood is not a good material, especially for keycaps, because while your hands don't go through a wide variation of temperature degrees, they do go through some, and wood has kind of a natural property to it where it expands and contracts based on temperature. And so probably don't have an issue with a case, obviously, especially since you have these metal standoffs on it. But oh, and I'm sorry, you guys have a weird effect going on here with 10 fast fingers. There we go. Turn that down. But yeah, you know, I mean, if it's a good starting point, $50. If you're in, so I'm not sponsored by these guys, but if you're looking for an aluminum case, you can get a 60% aluminum case here for $35. You save $10 on this thing, and it's not the greatest quality. Obviously, you're going to have, and I mean, even in the images here, you can see the streaking on the anodization. But for $35, I think that's what it is, because I think that's added to. I think the cart then brings it down. Let me see here. Save $10. Maybe it was 55. Yeah, so maybe it is just 45. So maybe you don't save maybe you don't save the $10 on top of it. Maybe it was 55 and they marked it down. But that's a pretty damn good price for a 60% keyboard. You know, of course you need to bring your own PCB switches and keycaps, but yeah, not a bad option there. Yeah, no, that would work, absolutely. And if wood is kind of an aesthetic that you want, then yeah, I mean, you could get away with that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So yep, creams on a keyboard, and they are great. Yeah, creams, novelty creams, I can definitely recommend. Those are a great switch. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, by all means, you can link anything, as long as it's not in violation of Twitch terms of service. Also, PX Wavy, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. And Sancho Bermuda, I missed you earlier as well. Thank you as well for the follow. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, so here's another case here. Let's all take a look at this together. So 85 bucks. This comes with a hot swap, 60% RGB keyboard, customized kit, PCB mounting plate. Yeah, so this has got the plate. It looks like our stabilizers included as well. USB-C port. What's up with those feet? Oh, okay, so the feet are just like, I don't even know if they have, I wouldn't think there are cutouts for the feet. I think they would just probably be attached, those bump-ons there. $200 custom keyboard. So yeah, you get like the SA keycap sets and stuff on it. I'm assuming that's what they mean here by $200. So the package includes the keyboard, PCB, plate, stabilizers, and the case. It includes a Type-C cable, a keycap puller, a switch puller, and the felt bag. I mean, for 85 bucks, yeah, you could do worse for sure. But yeah, you would need to open this guy up, and you'd probably want to tune the stabilizer. Like if you'd want it to sound like this, you'd want to tune those stabilizers. Yeah, because you can get oh, thank you, Dirk. I appreciate that. Thank you for the host. Because you can get stabilizers for pretty cheap. I mean, we're talking like you know, probably in and around the $10 range. VST God. So you're new into the keyboard scene. You were wondering what keyboards pre-built would be a good entry for you. Best keyboards pre-built, so I can recommend the HHKB. There's a couple of other pre-built options out there for MX that you can find on websites like Massdrop and stuff like that that are also passable. I'd be on the hunt for something that's like tuned, but you know, you gotta kind of watch out there because some tune jobs are not the same as others. Let's see here. GMK stabs are great. Yep, I can absolutely recommend that. It had a screw in the plate. Max, look at the pic again. It had a screw in the plate to the PCB. Are you talking about the one on the Banggood website? I don't know if I've plugged this yet. This is going to be sick, I think. Let's see what we got here. The ID80. The ID80 V2. This does look cool. Kind of like I like this aesthetic, this curved edge. So kind of like a pseudo 75% here. Yeah, with some pretty nice blockers. Looks kind of nice there. I like that. I like that underglow. That's a nice look. Yeah, they don't have a render of the bottom, but yeah, it looks like it would be pretty cool. I'd like to see more info on that. Transparent stabs look so good. Yeah, they do. One thing we have to worry about with transparent stabs though is typically they in the past they've had issues with the wire popping out on them. So you got to watch out with that. VST God, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. So there are so many brands, it's very confusing. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of information out there. I'd say take your time with it for sure. You know, I would do a reckon with a $250 budget. I could get something decent. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it just depends on how quick you are wanting to pull the trigger. If it's something like I need a keyboard right now, then you might be limited in options. But if you can wait and compile the parts over time, then you can get something really nice right in that price point. $250 opens you up to a lot of availability on KBD fans. They sell out on that site quite a lot, but KBD fans is a good spot to start for a bunch of different do-it-yourself kits. One of the things that, like I'd say, an early pitfall that people fall into, it hasn't been asked yet, but hot swap switches. You know, I don't recommend hot swaps. they become kind of problematic. There are newer ones that are okay. The Mil-Max sockets, once you actually get them in there, but overall they are quite unstable. The switches have difficulty holding in there. The tolerances aren't perfect. Nobody makes a PCB that's, with the exception of like the Rama hot swaps, that are made for the PCB. So the tolerances are just wrong on them a lot of times. They're difficult to use and work with, especially when you're building them for the first time. And it can just be kind of difficult. So that's one of the things that I always recommend to people. Like, you know, if you're looking at a hot swap, you know, I'd really think long and hard about that. You know, there's something to be said for just saying, this is the switch I want to try on this board. I've done my research. This is what I've liked. This is where I kind of, you know, I'm stepping off from, and the reviews I've read. So you don't even need to, like, I didn't try every switch I ever put into a keyboard. I would actually just build a keyboard with that switch and see if I liked it or not. And this hobby is so easy to flip things around and change it up if you don't like it, that, you know, oftentimes you can get into a different switch that, you know, will be a little bit more to your liking if you get something that you don't like as much. But if you read reviews, and there's so many good reviews out there, I mean, you can more times than not figure out exactly what you'd like based off of what you've used, and it makes it pretty easy. I also don't have a bit of it soldering. Yeah, soldering is one of those things, one of those skills that you'd actually be surprised at how quick you'll learn it and pick it up. I mean, it is definitely, you know, it's easy to get started, easier than you'd think to get started, and maybe there's a higher curve to it at the very edge, at the very end of it, you know, and some techniques that you'd use to make sure your soldering is really pinpoint accurate, not pinpoint accurate, but precise every time, getting that perfect joint and that switch in there perfectly straight every time. There's a couple of tips and techniques, and that's actually one of the things I thought about putting a YouTube video out on. So shameless plug. Follow me on YouTube, guys, as well, if you haven't already. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get another test in here. Enough talking. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, so I can definitely recommend the Think 6.5 here with its integrated 4.5 millimeter plate and the switches to go with it, the Alpaca switches. Man, these were tuned nicely by this client. He did a great job. So yeah, let's get one more look at this thing here, guys, and then we're gonna see if we got anyone that we can rate tonight. So here it is. Oh, Chubby's is live. That's what's up. Yeah, we'll definitely raid Chubby's. Did I already show the back? Ooh. Yeah. Yep, this is a good one. All right, comes highly recommended. All right, guys. So, again, if this is your first time tuning in tonight, thank you so much for catching the stream. We are going to be rating another keyboard content provider, and so don't go anywhere. And yeah, by all means, if you have any additional questions for the ST Guide, feel free to slide into DMs on Discord. Always happy to talk keyboards with fellow enthusiasts. And again, thank you for all the follows. If you haven't followed already, check out my YouTube and Instagram as well. I post albums and typing tests on there, as well as the video on demand content from Twitch. Feel free to subscribe to me there, and then also follow me here on Twitch. I am going to be doing giveaways. I have some dope artisan caps that I'm going to be commissioning. So as soon as we get to 1,000 followers across all 3 of those socials, I will have 3 artisan keycaps to give away. 1 for each follower. 1 for each follower account, I should say. So again, thanks so much for tuning in tonight, guys. I appreciate you. We are live without fail these days, every Tuesday and Thursday night. Everything else aside from that is extracurricular. And yeah, we are going to head on over and raid. So we've got Chubby's up right now. We've got Mechs on deck. Nathan Kim's up there too, but Nathan's playing video games. He's playing Counter-Strike, and he doesn't need more. He doesn't need more people. He doesn't need any help getting viewers. Plus, he's not even doing keyboard content right now. Let's go ahead and raid Chubby's. I agree with that. That'll be a great spot to go. Chubby's is a good guy. He actually met Chubby's, I think, twice now. And so, yeah, Chubby's and we've ran into each other at a couple of different meetups now. Let's see here. Raid channel, Chubby's. All right, start raid. All right, guys. So what should we tell Chubby's? What's he working on tonight? Chubby's is doing a Q rebuild stream. The Q. Nice. Alright, guys. Yeah, we've got it queued up. Alright, everyone. Thanks so much again. I appreciate you all. And yeah, should we tell him to show us his feet? Tell him to show us his feet. Alright, everyone. Have a great night. We'll catch you guys on Thursday. See you, everybody.
They're here. Max F. I was just about to raid you, believe it or not. I went to your stream and I was like, oh, what's Max doing right now? Let me look at his chat. Max F Live is raiding Chubby's with 14 viewers. I'm like, oh no. Why you gotta do this? Max, thanks for the raid. Appreciate you. What did you build tonight? Hello, faster raiders. This is correct. Goddess, Yana, thanks so much for that follow. One time I raided, I think it was Plume Keyboards, and I kid you not, the second we got in his chat, his raid came back to me. So before I hit end stream on my OBS, I thought I had finished streaming, and I was streaming again. I was live again. It was